2021, the fifth graders came into the school, and it was the first time in 70 years school children had walked in this door. The Southern Plains Land Trust creates and protects a network of shortgrass prairie preserves. We are on our Raven's Nest Nature Preserve, which we established in 2013. We expanded it in 2015 and added the area that Penrose School sits on. We found the building interesting. It was a little 600 square foot rock building in the middle of the prairie. But when we started researching it, we fell in love.
This school that we're sitting in right now sits about 13 miles south of the city of Las Animas. The county, decades ago, 100 years ago, was peppered with small rural schools just like this one.
We partnered with Benton County Historical Society, and with the funding of History Colorado and the State Historic Fund and some of our own donors, we were able to take a building that had been derelict for decades and rehabilitate the building. The support from State Historic Fund and the state tax credit was so imperative for us to be able to pull this off. I think we intervened in the nick of time with the help of Schubert Darden Architects and then Deep Roots Timber Works out of Fort Collins. They also, on our request, very enthusiastically engaged local subcontractors. And so there was a real multiplier effect from the State Historic Fund's grants to Southern Plains Land Trust, where we spent that money locally as much as we could.
The economics of historic preservation from a county commissioner standpoint is huge. Just even putting Benton County on the map as somebody who cares about history and about being able to continue to tell stories.
Everything was done according to how it should have been done historically. We were aiming for about 1942, when this was just a one-room schoolhouse with 9 windows and with gabled roof. Now that it's sitting on a wildlife refuge, I think there's tremendous potential as an educational venue. And when you think about the years the school was open, from 1921 to 1950, what this school saw were incredible periods in our nation's history.
If you have something to show children, or if you can research and preserve the history, how things were and how we've improved it, we think it's very important.
Most of my students, even though we live on the prairie, they're from Las Animas itself, which is a small town, so they don't really get to go out exploring the prairie. So they see a lot of animals and things they don't normally see, even though they live right next door to them.
They did the work to restore this in the same way that they're restoring riparian areas and keeping the preserves for animals and for plants. Knowing that people who care about the land are here on the land is a good thing.
I think that's part of what makes this project really special, is not only have we preserved this building, but we've preserved the broader setting around it. And so sometimes when you're walking on this Raven's Nest Nature Preserve, you have a view that is no different than it would have been 100 years ago. And that's a really special thing.